Alright, sorry. I'm just continuing the previous video because I accidentally stopped it, and I'm definitely not going to start over. But in continuation of what I was saying is that it has happened that every time I show this chart right here, that has a Y-haplogroup T, basically a little tree here, and it has filled in a little legend here, and it shows the gray shading, and it says Jews, and the black one down here that says Lemba, and you could see how many in all the different locations that we have this, which is really, you know, something to be said about that. And every time I show it is when people jump out and say, hey, that's impossible, Y-haplogroup T, is 28,000 years old, and they're placing it to be, you got to realize, haplogroup T comes from haplogroup K. Even by their own standards, you can't date something the same that it is diverging from the beginning or base of the human Y chromosome tree as something that's as far down as Y haplogroup T. But anyways, besides that, I think this right here proves a lot. And in the least, even if it were that old, in the least, this means that many, many, many T branches were in the Levant at one point, right? That's absolutely. And but that's one thing. And where did I get this from? Well, let me pull up here this little article that has been used before. That as you can see, the names of the authors here. First one on the list there is Michael Hammer from University of Arizona, and it says extended Y chromosome haplotypes resolve multiple and unique lineages of the Jewish priesthood. There's another name that comes up on here besides Michael Hammer. There's several others, but in particular Fernando L. Mendez, as you can see right there on the screen. That's where I got that picture that I was showing you from in the other article, right? So as you see, these two guys are listed on this, and this is the one that basically established that there's a commonality between Jewish men that claim to be priests of a priestly tribe of descendants of Levi, right? Descendants of Cohen, that is, who was from that line. And when you go down to what the results yielded, I would like to find it here for you to show, how sometimes things aren't, being held all to the same standard. How did they make this determination? Oh, these are the haplogroups that are the Cohen, the Levitical line, and what threshold are they being held to? And I'm not saying obviously it means that they have ancestors that were, for sure. But I wonder if I could find it here. Results. In conclusion, okay, results and discussion. All right, so right here what we're looking at is that they're saying that of all the lineages that they were testing, there were only 4. Let me point it out right here. Hold on. Only 4 of the remaining haplogroups were found at frequencies greater than 5%. In all Cohen sampled. Okay, 3 within the J2 subclade of haplogroup J, M410 was found at 14.4%, J-M112 at 7.4, J-M318 6.1, and haplogroup R, RM69 at 5.6%. Okay? Now, what's interesting is that T isn't mentioned at all, and within these sample sets, and now I know that 90% of Jewish people today are Ashkenazi, right? Upwards or around 90%. But one large group following that, of course, still a huge minority, is the Sephardic Jews. And they omitted, but the information is out there, and I'm going to show it to you. And it's these same guys, this same study. Haplogroup T, amongst the Sephardic Jews, they got all the guys that claim to have heritage of Levite lineages of the Sephardic Jews, not Ashkenazi Jews, Sephardic Jews. But this should be mentioned. 24% of them were T-M70 or Y-haplogroup T. And let's bring it up. Let's look for that now. Hold on. So over here in this Wikipedia page, okay, in this Wikipedia page is where we see here. It says here, Sephardic Levites. Sephardic Levites. Now I know people are going to say, oh, you can't believe Wikipedia. Well, you know, this is cited, and this is from a study. From the same names that you just saw on the list that I showed, where it said Michael Hammer and Fernando Mendes. Well, I'm going to show you right now. Hold on, where this came from. But following that line, 7 of 31, sorry, 22.6%. Okay. Among Ashkenazi Levites found at 3.3%, but different haplotype. Okay, so 22.6% are haplogroup T of the Sephardic Levites. And let's hit this 54 right there and see what it says here. As you can see down here. Okay, Bahar, Hammer, all right, that's Michael Hammer. Yeah, that's so. And let me show you where the Mendes study over here. That is basically where I got this tree from. So, but as you can see, of this, so they did this Cohen modal haplotype, and they said from the Michael Hammer study that they deemed 4 different lineages to be of this Cohen modal haplotype, and the threshold was 5%. If they could be more than 5%, we can assert that this was the Levite line. First of all, Levi was one man, not 4 different men. All right, so that's already a problem, right? But the highest one was like 14%, followed by 7 point something percent, followed by 6 point something, and followed by 5.6%, right? And we saw that amongst the Sephardic Jews, okay, 22.6% is a number that is higher than 14%. And it's not even mentioned. It's not even mentioned. And then over here in this study, now you've seen Michael Mendes was one of the ones that was listed with Michael Hammer on that Cohen modal haplotype. And here, and by the way, let's not forget that Michael Hammer also mentioned that 3 kits that he had amongst his test data that he had collected were exact matches to Thomas Jefferson, and they were 2 Moroccan Jews and an Ethiopian Jew, I believe, something like that. Pretty interesting. Thomas Jefferson, his line goes back to England, but even when National Geographic's had a DNA company and was doing the they were mapping a lot of this Y chromosome stuff. You know, they talk about that on that genetic atom, you know, genographic project that was on the Discovery Channel, about how haplogroup T really doesn't go back to England, but really goes back to way back from the Levite. Anyhow, but Fernando Mendes, that's where I got this picture that I have shared a few times, like I was saying, you know. So that's what I wanted to say, that, you know, I feel like seeing such a distribution of Jewish lineages all over the Y haplogroup T tree, I mean, widely spread, probably more than any other haplogroup. And I mean, that's gotta mean something. What does it mean? Does it mean that it's not as old as they say, or that it was all concentrated in a certain region in the Levant? Definitely means that to me. But just want to say that we can't just make these claims and take it as Bible or as written in stone that these S&Ps are that old, because there's no math to justify it. And if someone could refute this, give me the math. Say the genes, state the kit numbers, do the math, and think. Think. Use your head, you know? So a lot of people are just parroting things and are not thinking. And, you know, we need to consider this. So, I don't know. Tell me what you think. If you got any information, please share it in the comments section. And let's try to learn. Okay? Thank you, and good night.